Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed. In today's C# lesson, we are going to talk about how to get input from a user and arrays. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so let's begin with user input. Let's create a scenario first. Let's say we are going to ask user for their name, for their birth year, and for their GPA. So let's begin. For their name, I'm gonna write string name. Now, if I come here and write console write line and ask for their name, what is your name? Then I need to take an input, right? How am I going to take an input? As you know from our previous lesson, what did we write to freeze that command window on our screen? We wrote console readline, right? But what is the purpose of this command? This command waits for user to put an input from their keyboard, right? So if I try to execute this command now, what will going to happen? If I come here and execute this command and I write my name Ahmed, what is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. Why is that? Because I didn't assign this command to my variable. So if I come here and write name assigned with console readline, whatever the input I'm gonna write in my keyboard, it's going to assign it to name variable. So if I were to come here, let's just copy this and try to print out my name here. So let me just write my variable name here. It's going to write whatever I wrote in this input line. So let's execute this command. Again, it's going to ask what is your name. Then if I come here and write Ahmed, as you can see, it's going to print out Ahmed here. Because why is it going to print out Ahmed? Because I wrote right line name. So if I change value to like John, it's going to print out John. Now, our first objective is done. What did we ask for user? We ask for their name. So I'm going to ask for their birth year. So let me just come here and ask their birth year. What is your birth year? Then what am I going to do? I'm going to print out their age. How am I going to print out their age? If I come here and write current year, so it's 2021, and subtract this birth year, their birth year, with our current year, what am I gonna get? I'm gonna get their age. So users birth year. So this is our formula, right? Now what I need to do, I need to create a variable. But what will the variable's data type? If I come here and write string birth year, is it going to work? Technically, yes. What I mean by technically, let me show you very quick. So if I come here and copy and paste this, then if I were to print out my birth year, is it going to work or not? The answer is yes, guys. Is it going to print out my birth year? Let's just say Ahmed and 1998. As you can see, it's going to print out 1988. But as you know, we need to write integer, double, decimal, or float for mathematical operations. So when this birth year value has a numerical value, it's not going to let me do any mathematical operations in here. Likewise, if I come here and write plus 10, is it going to print out my birth year plus 10? What I mean by that, is it going to do the operation then print out? So what was my birth year? It was 1998, right? So is it going to print out 2008 or not? The answer is no, guys. It's going to print out 1998 and 10. So it's going to print out 199,810. So let me execute this command. Write Ahmed, write 1998, and as you can see, it's going to print out 1998 and 10 here. Why is that? Because my birth year variable here is a string variable, guys. So what does it do? It's going to just add this 10 value as a string to next to my birth year. So what are we going to need for this birth year to do this mathematical operations? We are going to write integer or double decimal, whatever you like, but we are going to use integer for now because my birth year is an integer value. But if I were to write integer here instead of string, as you can see, we are gonna get an error. Why is that? Because every input that we are gonna get from our console readline command is going to be a string value, guys. So what I need to do, I need to change this string value to integer value. How am I gonna do that? To do that, I just come here and write convert. Then I'm gonna put a point here. As you can see, when I put the point here, you're gonna see a lot of commands here. As you can see, to char, to boolean, to decimal, to double, and as you can see, we have to integer. And those 16, 32, and 64 is just byte numbers. You don't need to worry about it so much. I'm just gonna select the 32 one. Then I'm gonna put some parentheses here. And as you can see, our error has now vanished. Now, if I were to execute my command, I'm gonna get 2008 from here. So let's execute and see. What's your name? My name is Ahmed. What's my birth year? It's 1998. And as you can see, it did the mathematical operation and we got our 2008 value here. Now let's continue with our scenario. What are we going to want? We're just going to want his birth year, the user's birth year, and let's just say let's create int current year and assign this a value which is 2021. So I'm gonna assign a current year 2021. Then what am I going to write? I'm going to write their age. So let's write it. I'm just gonna say your age is. Then I'm gonna do my mathematical operation with my parentheses. What am I going to write? I'm going to subtract current year with birth year. So let me just execute this command again. What is your name? Ahmed. What's my birth year? 1998. And as you can see, your age is 23. So let's continue with the GPA, right? Let's ask user for their GPA first. Let me just write console readline. What is your GPA? Then what data type do I need to write here? Because of our GPA isn't an integer, I need to write double data type. So let's just write double GPA. And what I need to convert this to? I need to convert this to double, right? So let me just write convert to double. What am I going to convert? I'm going to convert the input. So what I need to write here? I need to write console readline. So let me just copy this and paste it. And as you can see, what did we get? We get our GPA input from our user. So let me just print it out. That's GPA console readline. Your input is, what am I going to write? Your GPA is GPA. Then let's execute this command real quick. Again, I'm going to write Ahmed 1998. Let's just say 3.5. Now, of course, I need to write with a comma, not a point. Let's just say 3.5. And as you can see, your GPA is 3.5. Okay, let's continue with the arrays. Basically, what does arrays do? Arrays are containers that allow us to store some values or inputs from our user. So basically, values. So let me just create an integer array. Let me show you how to create an integer array. To create an integer array, I need to write integer first, then put a square bracket. So I'm just gonna write square brackets, then I'm gonna write my variable name. Let's just say array, because I'm creating an array, of course. Now, what do I have here? I have my first integer array here. So let's just assign some values to this array, right? How am I gonna assign the value to this array? If I come here and write equals with curly brackets, then if I put my values under those curly brackets, between those curly brackets, let's just say 1, and I need to separate my values with comma, of course. 1 separated by comma, 2, 3, 4, and let's just say 5. So now what do I have here? I have my array with 5 values in here. So how am I gonna print those values? If I want to print the first value of my array here, I need to write console write line array, and I need to put some square brackets here, and I need to write the position of the value that I want to print here. So what I need to write? I need to write 0, guys. If I were to write 1 here, I'm not gonna get that one value. Let's just put those semicolons there. I'm not gonna get that one value from here. Why is that? Because if we start counting from inside those arrays, we start the counting with 0, guys. Don't ever forget that. We start the counting with 0. Then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and etc. So what do I have here? In my 1 position, I have the number 2. So let me just execute this command, and as you can see, I have the number 2 here. So if I want to print out my 1 value in here, I need to write position 0 here. So let me just execute it again, and as you can see, I have the value 1 here. Even I can change the value array 0 here without ever touching our main array values. How am I going to do that? If I come here and write, let me just delete spaces, arrays position 0, what value does this have? It's have 1 value here. So let me just write, it's not going to have 1 value anymore, it's going to have 10 value. So if I come here and execute this command again, it's going to print out 10. Why is that? Because I changed the value on the position 0, 1 to 10. I can even change any position, any number, any value in here to whatever I want. So let me just change everything in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just change this to 11, 12, 13, and 14. So let me just write array 1. So what am I going to write? The first position of array, which is that it's 11. So when I execute this command, it's going to print out 11 here. So let's continue with our student name, right? Let's just count these numbers as our student ID from our scenario and continue with the student name. So what I need to write? I need to write an string array, right? Let's just write string array, but as an extra, let's just say I don't know any input of our student name, so I'm not going to assign anything. I need an empty array. But how am I going to write an empty array here? If you write a string name array like this, you can't assign any numbers to that string name array, guys. I can't assign any values, I can't give any values to this string. And why is that? Because this string array named name lacks its length, guys. I need to assign this name variable to some length. But you can ask, you didn't assign any length to this array variable. And why is that? Because I assigned this array variable some values. If I assign any values to this array, it's going to automatically assign its length to the number of these values. So what is the array's length here? It's going to be 5, guys. So the length of this array is 5. But there is no length of this array, so I can't assign any value to this name array. So how am I going to create some array name without assigning any values from the start? If I just come here, delete this semicolon, and write assign new string. I'm writing string because the data type of this array is string. New string, then put some square brackets here. I can just put any length in those square brackets, and I can create an empty array with, like, let's just write 5 here. I can create any string array with the length of 5 guys. So what do I have here now? I have a string named name with the length of 5. So now I can assign any variable name to this string name array. Let's just say name position 0. Let's just say it's going to be John. So what did I assign? I assigned names 0's position to John. I can assign every position here. What do I have here? I have 5 values. Why do I have 5 values? Because the length of this name is 5. So let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, and not just change John with double N, triple, 4, and 5. Okay. Now what do I have here now? I have 5 different values, and I assign every position of this array with some values. Now if I try to execute it, and let's just say name here and 0, what do I gonna have? I'm gonna have my John value here. But if I try to delete this new string values, new string code, I'm going to get an error here because it says use of unassigned local variable, because we didn't assign this array yet. We need to write our new string and assign some with length, guys. So if I come here again and write name 5 here, and let's just add another n here, what am I going to get if I try to print out my name 5? I'm gonna get an error, guys. Why is that? Because as you can see, index out of range. Why am I getting that error? Because I can only have maximum of 5 values in this string name method. Because why is that? Because my length is 5 here. But what do I have here? I have the name 5 as my 6th value here. And because of that, I'm getting an error. And what is that error? Index out of range error, guys. And with that, we can easily close the array topic, at least for now, because we are going to talk about multidimensional array in our next lessons. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in our next lessons. Goodbye.